I guess we'll move on to the next topic from there. Speaking of Chip Kelly and job security for other coaches, Chip Kelly's 2 seasons in to his tenure at UCLA, signed a 5-year contract back in 2017. Obviously hasn't been off to the hottest start, far from it actually. Hasn't won a non-conference game. Bruins haven't been bowl eligible. There's obviously a lot left to be desired. But with 3 years left on his contract, I don't know, Jack, do you think he makes it all the way through? And if not, when do you think the plug gets pulled?
It's if we start 1-5 or 2-4, like I already said, I don't think he lasts. There was no one more excited for Chip Kelly than me when he came into the school. I thought he was going to be a game changer. I thought when Moore was here, I thought it was kind of rough. I loved the hire of Chip Kelly originally. I can't see it. I really can't see him lasting. I don't know. Your third year is your prove year. And I haven't seen anything from Chip Kelly that has made me think that he can have a competent defense out on the field. And if he has to rely on DTR and the wide receivers, running backs to really carry him again this year, they're going to struggle. And I think with the new AD as well, wanting to probably bring in one of his guys that he knows from his past experience, Boston College, Ohio State. There's some big names there, some big names from those coaching trees. I think Jarman's going to hire a new guy.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but also, I mean, I wrote an article for the Daily Bruin. It was one of our Battle of the Editor ones. My prediction for the year 2020 is that Chip would not make it through the season. The Bruins maybe would improve, but because of drama behind the scenes, I don't know, maybe he gets let go. But since January, so much has changed that has so much wider scope than football. So whether I think that UCLA could go 0-10 in this conference-only spring season, and Chip Kelly would still be there. That wouldn't be the case normally.
No way.
If UCLA went 3-9 if coronavirus hadn't happened, UCLA goes 3-9 in 2020. I agree. I think he's done. He hasn't proven he can put together a good defense, and his offense, his playbook hasn't been really up to snuff what we expected from Oregon and even the Eagles. But I mean, UCLA has lost millions and millions of dollars over the last 2 years from their athletic department, and a lot of that has to do with buying out Jim Moore in 2017 and with buying out Steve Alford from men's basketball. You really can't financially justify paying a huge buyout for a head football coach right now, just with everything that's going on in the world economically. It just doesn't make sense, and I don't think they would be able to get away with it.
I'm reading our chat right now. Someone said UCLA 0-9. There's no way. We win at least one game on a fluke. Chip Kelly hasn't won anything at any level in a half decade. Why is he still employed? I agree, but some of those guys that have proven success at some point in their careers always seem to come back around. I don't know. He probably should have come back at like a lower level, try to build himself up, and then gotten the UCLA job. We didn't do that. It happens. It's a big name coach. You want to go out and make that big splash. You want to try to get fans energized. I think the opposite is happening because of everything that's happened. The pandemic has caused UCLA to really look at their football program and seeing that it is not viable right now. You look at the Rose Bowl the past couple of years, it's like it's a quarter filled at points. It's killer on the financials right now. And Jarman wants to come in, make a splash, and really change things up. Our basketball program's got a good coach. We're looking solid at the end of last year. You've got a guy that built himself up from Cincinnati. There's another name out there from Cincinnati that could be coming in. A guy that has connections to Jarman. That's all I'm saying. I don't see how he lasts. The money will always be a problem. Money will always be a problem in any way, shape, or form. But if he really wants to make a splash,
but you're talking about
try to get something back. You need to try to get something back. And Chip Kelly is not the way to get it back.
You're saying that football has basically been like a hole in UCLA athletics pocket for the last 2-3 years, which I agree with. You're not wrong. If you look at it, that's objectively correct. But the way to fix that is not to spend another $10+ million on a head coach buyout. You've had too many of those recently. I get it. They want to get out from under Chip Kelly. And if they have another losing season, I understand. Everyone would. but they've kind of backed themselves into a corner by the way they've organized their spending and the way they've organized other head coaches and how they pay them and how they buy them out. That I don't know if they will be able to buy out Chip Kelly. Not even just PR wise. I don't know if they will have the money to buy out Chip Kelly.
There's always some money somewhere that you can use to justify this. I guarantee a couple of donors, if they really asked for it, they really wanted Chip Kelly out, they could do it. How we fill up the Rose Bowl? You get a new coach. You get something to change up the status quo because the status quo is obviously not working.